Alright, let's talk about how to become his ultimate obsession. And I'm teaching this to you because this is what worked for me. Okay, so get your pen and paper out and take notes because you really can't have this. And that's number one. You really have to know that this is not pie in the sky stuff that is hard to do or manifest, and there's no reason why you can't have this at all. This is actually having someone totally obsessed with you in a pleasant and wonderful and loving way is wonderful and awesome, and there's absolutely no reason why you can't have that with the person of your choosing. So when you make it very matter of fact, like logical, the next logical step, like of course I can have that, then it's gonna be that much closer to being a logical reality for you. Okay, so start with that. Now we're gonna keep going. What I noticed in my experience, okay, because I'm kind of like teaching you guys from a place of hindsight where I had already manifested this, and now I'm going back and telling you what worked the best to make it come into my reality in the manifested form. Like what made it click into place. That's what I'm going to tell you. So what I noticed is that when I was dreaming about it and wanting it, it didn't work so much. It wasn't really working the way that I wanted it to when I was in like the dreaming it up phase, the wanting it so much phase. And that does kind of make sense because when you are finally in your knowing it into being, you know that it's done, you know that it's real, you're totally in your end, there's a lot more like confident, satisfied relaxation happening in that. It's like not really high up there, excited. It's kind of like, yeah, and what? Like by the time that it comes, you're already a little bit over it. So it's that relaxed feeling that you have when you're actually manifesting it, right? It's like no big deal. Things that are no big deal manifest easily. So we kind of want to reach a little bit more for that. Now let me explain this a little bit more. So make sure you're watching all the way till the end so that you understand this in its entirety, okay? And by the way, if you're enjoying this video, make sure that you like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Another point that I want to bring up is if you're obsessed with making them obsessed, you're probably not in the vibration that is going to make them obsessed. Now, that doesn't mean stop watching videos because you can't fake your vibration to the universe and hide under a rock and pretend that you still don't really want what you want. What you're going to do here is you're going to learn what to do, and then you're going to be able to put it into practice. So you don't have to be obsessed with it anymore. You could just manifest it. No big deal. Right? Okay. But what I'm saying is the more that you're in the vibration, the feeling, the mindset of, I really, really want it. I gotta have it. How am I gonna make this happen? The vibration of, well, let's back up. Manifesting. Manifesting means you get what you focus on. It doesn't matter why you're focusing on what you're focusing on. It just matters what you're focusing on. That's what you're getting. Okay, so the vibration of wanting it is not the vibration of having it. But many of you, if you take a good honest examination of your consciousness and your thoughts and what where you're normally at, you're normally probably thinking about, how am I gonna get this? And that is not having it. So we have to move beyond the being obsessed with making them obsessed and start kind of taking on what it feels like for real to already have that, right? It feels like a lot more confident, fulfilled, satisfied, I don't give a fuck type of deal, but in like a good way, you know, and I don't give a fuck because I have what I want, and what's to give a fuck about, right? Okay, so think about this in a positive sense, especially for those of you who are not feeling relaxed. It is very necessary for you to figure out a way to come into a more relaxed state of mind, state of being, train of thought. Even if this takes some practice, that is not a big deal at all. Just practice putting yourself into more of a relaxed train of thought and train of belief, because that is the evidence that you're accepting that you are okay and that you are going to get what you want. That feels a lot closer. Being relaxed is a lot closer to you getting what you want. You know why? Because when you get what you want, you're gonna feel relaxed, right? So train yourself in that direction. Don't beat up on yourself when you're not there, because it doesn't really matter. You're gonna get there anyway. All right, what else have I got here? So I want you to think about a couple of things, because you want to sort of capture the vibrational signature of the end that you want. So what do you want? You want to become his ultimate obsession. So think about, you got to vibrate at that, right? What is that? You got to vibrate at that. So let's begin by, what would it feel like if you absolutely knew that you were on your way to having what you wanted? What would that feel like to be a version of yourself who absolutely knows that you're on your way to having what you want, that you're walking right into it? What would that feel like? Now, I also want you to think about something else. What would it feel like if I totally didn't need this at all? That means I don't need it. I don't need it because I'm kind of already feeling satisfied and fulfilled. Now, it doesn't matter how or why you're feeling satisfied and fulfilled. If you get into the vibration of feeling more satisfied and fulfilled, you will attract things that are more satisfying and fulfilling to you. Vibrational fact. Now I'm going to give you a few tips, okay? So these tips are going to make it easier for you to manifest it and implement all of these things and click it all into place. So the first thing, this tip really works, like especially if you really, really want them and you're like, oh my God, I'm totally obsessed with them, with wanting them to be obsessed with me, and I don't know how to not be obsessed with that. Help me out. Okay, well, here's the answer. So get obsessed with something else more than you're obsessed with them. I don't care what it is. We can all take on interests and hobbies and get into something. Become obsessed with something else more than you're obsessed with them. That is going to help take the pressure off in that negative sense dramatically. Okay, you're gonna move your attention over to something else, release your attention a little bit over here. Initially, there might be a transition. That's okay. Just keep going in that direction, right? Just keep reinforcing the direction that you want. So the second thing that I'm gonna tell you is, all right, every single time that you think about it, I just want you to tell yourself that it's done. Like immediately, as quickly as you possibly can. I don't care if you do this 100 times a minute. It'll get better. When you practice, the more that you practice, the easier it gets, and the less that you have to remind yourself. But yeah, every time that you think about it, just kind of like brush it off, like, oh, it's done. Oh, it's done. That's done. Oh yeah, that's done. That's done. And take pleasure and fun in like the ability to just tell yourself it's done. It's done. Oh yeah, that's right. It's done. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's totally done. Make it a game. That's really going to be helpful to you, especially when you're not allowing yourself to go off in totally bad tangents that are not helping you manifest what you want. You know that when you dwell on it a little bit too much, or even a little bit at all, it just takes you down the storyline, and you don't want to manifest story, you want to manifest your end. So just go straight to the end. Be in the end. What's the end? It's done. Now here's the last thing that I'm going to tell you, and it's definitely not least, so make sure that you watch this all the way until the end, because this is probably the most important part. Because if you feel like you can't do this, or you've tried, or something's not working, or you don't know what you're doing wrong, or you don't know how to make this work for you, or you don't even know if any of this works at all, if you're having doubts, here's why. If you feel like you can't follow these directions, you're having trouble following the directions, this is why. If you can't do this, it means one thing. You lack alignment. Bear with me here, because I know that it is an ambiguous term that people do not even know what this means. But alignment is what manifests. It's the piece of the practice that the practice is supposed to help you achieve. And it's the piece of the practice that actually makes the practice work. Okay, so no matter what law of attraction manifesting practice that you try or that you've ever tried, the point is always alignment. And if you're missing that indescribable, ambiguous, nebulous alignment stuff, your manifestation will not come to pass. And that's why everybody gets different results, because maybe you're aligned when you do it and maybe you're not, right? So alignment is the part that makes your manifesting pay off. So what are you going to do to make sure that you're doing the payoff part to get the result? Make sure that you're not just doing an empty practice. Make sure that anything that I tell you to do, or any practice that you do or that anybody tells you to do, make sure that you're feeling yourself into it fully, because that's the only way to truly accomplish alignment. And let me tell you a little tip about what alignment really is. Alignment is completely void of urgency and need and insistence. So if you're scripting and you feel like you need to do this the right way, or you need to figure it out, or you need to make sure that it happens, this is not alignment, this is force, and that's manipulation, not manifesting, okay? So alignment is the relaxed part, the part that doesn't need to control it or figure it out, the part that already feels satisfied, the part that already feels good, the part that already feels it's just gonna be okay, it's just gonna work out. The part that doesn't require any soothing or reinforcement or help, you know? So it's just like that okay feeling. And when you're completely involved in whatever practice that you're doing, like living in the end, when you're doing that the right way, it's just gonna be like this enjoyable experience that you're just participating within, and you're just along for the ride. It's not gonna be this, I need to do this right and accomplish this because I need for this thing to manifest and I need for it to happen this way. So if you're still experiencing that tension, that's why, you need to really cool it and relax. That's you being obsessed, not the other person. Remember I said if you're the one obsessed, you're probably not in the vibration that's going to make them obsessed. It's when you're relaxed and when you're aligned that it's really going to make them obsessed with you and chase you. So you have to be dedicated to being willing to turn around your negative, urgent, insistent, resistant feelings, and to commit to being able to relax and being able to just know that it's okay, I'm telling you, this is what works. This is what works, and the more that you can relax and align and just do a practice for the purpose of enjoyment, not because you're trying to save the world or save your life or make somebody do something else, that's what makes it work, when you don't need to control anything. That's the secret sauce right there. So what I'm going to tell you about aligning is feel into your end and let go of the rest. And that is it. Feel into your end, vibrate at your end, be in your end, and let go of everything else. All the what ifs, ands, buts, the story. Train yourself to let everything else drop off of your radar completely, and completely lose focus of everything else, because what you focus on you get. So your end is it. And as in, it's done. And that's it. Hey, if you like this video, make sure that you click the like button, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Hey, if you want to join my coaching group, I have a really amazing coaching group, but we have lots of courses in there right now. I have one on how to make them obsessed with you. I'm doing one this weekend on manifesting consistent commitment, a next level love obsession to make him completely and utterly devoted to you, no matter if there's a third party or anything else in the way. So if you want to attend that, you can join my live seminars and get live support. You can join the community, get support from like-minded people, and gain access to all of my member-only courses. If you're inside the US, make sure that you text insiders at 474747 for the link, or the link is going to be pinned in the pinned comment below. I'll see you in the next video.
That was easy.